Okay guys, this is as promised my Sony Cybershot DSC WX80 camera. It's also been adapted to look very similar to the HD hat camera kit you can buy. Basically this is very similar to the camera that Chris Perillo uses in his vlogging, and I just wanted to show you the key components. If you want to see how I made this, just view one of my other videos, do a quick search and you'll find it. And I've done a series of videos on how I went about making this. Now you could purchase the kit from HD Hat for about $300. If you was to bring this into the UK, you're talking about £50 import duty on top of that. What you're talking about is maybe £30 to £40 to actually get it to the UK in terms of postage. So I just wanted to show you my camera. Obviously it's based on the Cybershot WX80 camera, and I'll talk you through the key components. If you want to watch one of my other videos, I'll show you how I make this, because I believed I could get it and I could build it cheaper than HD Hat have done. So without further ado, I will break it down to its key components. Now first of all, we have the camera. Now what I basically had to do was get a 52mm to 55mm stepping ring, drill a hole in it, glue it on, and that's what I've done. Glued the stepping ring to the camera, and obviously it's on there quite secure, can't come off very easily. So that's the camera. Then we have the camera lens. The camera lens is a Vivitar HD Pro Vivitar Series 1 43x high definition wide angle lens with macro Japan optics. It's quite a high quality lens this. I think it's limited edition. Did get this on eBay, and I'll give you the details in the description on how to get hold of one. Obviously this lens comes in two parts, which you've got a wide angle lens part and you've got a macro lens part, which means you can film close up basically. The second part of that lens, of the assembly, is basically an extension. Two extension parts to make the lens long enough, because the problem I had was I needed a way of fixing the lens and the camera approximately like that on there. You can see that, because if I didn't do that, this lens would damage that, because you couldn't just screw it straight on. So I needed to figure out a way of how to adapt this, because what HD Hat have done is they've come up with some sort of adapter and built an adapter that fits on there, so it wouldn't damage the lens once you put it on. Now I had to figure out how do I find one, and it was quite difficult, because looking on the internet it wasn't that easy and straightforward to figure out what I needed. Some sort of an extension in between the camera lens and the lens that's actually on the camera, so it wouldn't damage the lens and it would mount on there without any problems. As you can see, it's just the right size. So I had to figure out size, because basically this lens comes out from the camera when it's set to wide angle at 2.5 centimeters, 3 or 4 millimeters on there, and then with this added we've got 21 millimeters. So in total we've got around 2.5 centimeters that basically covers the lens, which allows us to attach the 72mm wide angle lens. I've got the camera that Chris Perillo uses now, but I believe my lens at the end here, because it's a limited edition double coated optics from Vivitar, that's the company that make them. You may not know this, but obviously Vivitar don't make great lenses, unlike Canon and Nikon. When I was at college, I learnt about cameras and lenses, and I certainly knew that Vivitar wasn't a well-known brand for making lenses. However, they are a lot cheaper. If you want to have a look at my other video on how I went about making this, please do so. It'll tell you a bit more about how I went about getting the parts and how I made it. And that's your basic camera really. You've got a wide angle lens, then you've got basically 2 extension parts, and 1 stepping ring, and obviously there's 1 stepping ring on the camera glued on. The glue I used was something called Fugu, and obviously that is quite a strong glue for holding the camera on the it's quite a strong glue for holding the lens onto the camera. And that's basically the key parts of this particular camera. I hope this video has been helpful. It tells you what the main parts you need. Please do watch my other video about how I go about making this camera. Hello guys, something I forgot to mention, so I didn't want to miss it out, so I wanted to add a bit more footage for you so you guys can basically have a look. What I didn't mention is, in the hdhat.com kit that they do, it comes with some sort of mini monopod, which is basically like a tripod, but it's just 1 leg really, but a lot shorter, you know. And I wanted to show you something I got, which was the equivalent. This only cost about £5, which you can see there is just a little extender arm. I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Now, as one of the other people who've recently reviewed the hdhat kit, one of the problems they've come across is, if you have a look there, you can see that the tripod mount there, if you was to try and put something on there, it would actually hit the stepping ring, and if you were to put pressure on it, could dislodge it, and obviously all that trouble you got into gluing, all that trouble you went to glue it would be a waste of time. So I thought it's a bit of a problem, but before I show you that, I'll just unbox the monopod and you have an idea. Right, here's the little mini monopod. This can extend quite long actually, so you know, it's quite long. The monopod that comes with the HD hat kit doesn't extend, so I think this is 10 times better in that respect. Now, if you was to screw this on there, you can see if you try and screw it on, it's touching and it's not screwed all the way in. So that, if you kept screwing, would probably push this up, and obviously gluing it would be a total waste of time and you'd probably damage it, you know. So I thought, how can I get around this problem? Now, the solution I came up with was some sort of like a tripod adapter. Basically extends a little bit more distance there. So as you can see, if you screw that in there like that, like so, now that's in there pretty sturdy. Now you can see there's a gap there, so it's not gonna dislodge that glued ring. So then if we screw that back onto the adapter, also with this little monopod thing I've got, I can actually swivel as well. So I hope those little extras that I've shown you shows you a way of getting around the problem. Which I believe resolves the problem. And I believe my little kit here is actually better than the HD hat kit that they offer, because this is actually better than the monopod they sell. Now, obviously the one they're selling is a bit more chunky than this and might seem better quality, but to be honest, this is just as good. And because of this adapter, I will never damage the adapter ring, unlike their monopod, which if you put it on there, and in fact other people have reviewed that monopod, and when they try and screw it in, they think, oh no, it's damaging that. So I just wanted to quickly show you these little extras. In terms of the adapter ring here, this adapter, that's off eBay and that cost me a couple of quid. Like I said, this is a £5 and this extends quite a lot. It actually weighs 500 grams and it extends from 20 centimeters to 97 centimeters, nearly a meter, so it's quite long. So that's just a little extra video I thought I'd do, so you guys can see the few extras that I'd have bought for it, and hope you liked it.